get started, and whoever jumps in can jump in. I miss everybody. Yeah, you know what? I'm so looking forward to Fido Float.
Oh, yeah.
Fingers crossed. But at least we can see everybody at a distance anyway. So, we'll talk about that on down the list. Meeting notes. Did you all read them? Anybody?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes? Any additions? Any edits? Anything?
Nope, looks good to me. I vote that I move that we accept the minutes.
Okay. Second?
Second.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All good?
Aye.
Okay, all right, all good.
Penny, thank you too.
What's that? Donna, you always do it. Hi, Penny, you always do a great job on the minutes, so thank you.
Steph, what's the minute requirement? There's a
They're
requirement.
supposed to be posted within 48 hours after the meeting.
And you've done that, right, Donna?
Yes, the last time was our first time with a Zoom meeting, and I did post them.
Yeah, just couldn't
I sent them to Margaret within 24 hours.
Yeah.
Donna does a fabulous job.
Yeah. Just a reminder, you're being recorded and the recording will be posted tomorrow.
Okay. So
Okay.
Kathy, I'm going to plan to get these finished tonight because we frequently lose power during storms. So I'm going to get them done and text them over, or email them over to you as soon as possible.
Okay. All right, that's good. And Donna, you always do a great job. So if it gets to where you need to send them straight to Margaret, do that too. That's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. But let's hope you keep power. Let's hope this storm doesn't
Oh, I know.
hit us. And
Well,
flood
be
the dog
prepared.
park, too.
Be
Yeah.
prepared.
All right, so we're skipping all the way down to Fido Float because we don't have any correspondence or member inquiries or incident reports, right?
Nope.
Hot dog, we're moving. So I met, to be perfectly honest, a month ago, the board at Fannie Chapman had a meeting and I was invited and I didn't get to that meeting. I just messed things up. So last Monday, they had a meeting and they voted to do Fido Float again. But we have a lot of things to discuss because this is a totally different world that we're living in right now. So we need to discuss one, if everybody's comfortable still being a part of it, and if you're not, that's absolutely fine. And tomorrow, Karen, Caroline, Jim, and I are meeting to discuss how we're going to do, figure it out.
Logistics.
Yeah, thank you. So, so let's just have a conversation as far as, is everybody in on still holding it and in on wearing, there she is.
There's Lucy.
Oh, so cute. That's a big dog.
There's a Harlequin.
Caroline, oh, she just walked off screen.
Yeah, so we're meeting tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Kathy, Karen, Jim Foster, the pool manager, and myself, just to figure this out, how we're going to work it. I think we've talked a few things about, if there's going to be, still the 25-person, limit on gatherings. How many sessions do we want to have? Do we want to have one session, two sessions, 3, 4, 5, only for an hour each? Or, Karen and I talked about this a little bit, just trying to figure it out. We talked about opening, the pool obviously has different requirements, more than the 25 people. With the spacing, it's just trying to figure out what we're going to do, how we're going to do this.
So Caroline, do you know if that's 25 people? Like Jim said, he would keep the lower pool open.
Mhm.
And then we have the big pool, and then we have the baby pool.
Right.
So is that 25 people split between
That's where I'm not sure where this falls as far as, gatherings, because gatherings are 25 people, but, recreational pools have a different exemption requirement. So I don't know where a Fido float falls.
They're dogs and they're people, yeah.
The state hasn't issued guidelines for Fido float.
Well, so folks, what are you all comfortable with as far as being there and or not being there? And what do you think? I mean, do we have enough folks available to man the show? Let's back up a minute, because we know how popular it is, but if we are not comfortable being there, then we need to back up.
Well, can I ask a silly question? Is the pool open for regular swimming this summer?
Yes.
It is open, okay.
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to know.
Yep.
Well, I would be willing to be there. I like the idea of sessions of an hour each. With, if the 25 people is how we have to do it, there may be people who are not really willing to go either. There would be some people that would stay home just because they're not at ease with it. So maybe our big crowds wouldn't be as big this year anyway.
But you think we should still offer and still run with it?
I'd be interesting to see what you folks come up with in your meeting tomorrow.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
we need,
I personally am not really comfortable with anything of that sort. I'm in that category that has to be real careful for a number of reasons, and I probably would not attend.
Okay. David, I appreciate that. I understand that. But so are you okay coming tonight?
As long as I don't really have, because it sounds like there's not a whole lot of contact with people involved.
No.
So I'll wear my mask and I'll social distance.
Okay. Good. Yes. We have to set up the room and take down the room.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All righty. Anybody else? Deb?
I'm okay with going, and I'm okay with being
I'll
there
be there.
because
Yeah.
it's outside, and I'm okay with outside. As long as, again, we're social distancing. That's my big deal. As long as we're social distancing, I'm okay. I'm way more comfortable with doing stuff outside.
Okay. Nancy, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say the same thing. I'm comfortable with being there. It's outside and social distancing. I think everybody needs to follow what they're comfortable with. And let's see, who's going tomorrow. So who's going to make the final call with Fido Float? Is it through the township, or is it through the pool in terms of the numbers? How does that work?
well, as it is right now, Fanny Chapman Pool, Doylestown Borough has agreed to allow Fido Float to go on. Tomorrow, we're just going to try to figure out some logistics. And the pool manager, Jim Foster, I don't know if he's contacted her yet, but he's contacting the health department, county health department liaison, just to see if she has any input on, any guidelines on
Right.
attendance.
That's just, I've never attended it. And I guess that's the question, is that,
Mm-hmm.
With adults, you can say, okay, you guys are all going to sort of stay in your areas. With dogs, you may not have as much control. You know, I haven't,
You're
right?
not
So,
just in the little squares.
I
right,
was,
but at the same time, they have that at the pool now with families and children. You know, they must be figuring it out too, because they're not restricting kids to just one little area too. So I guess it's the same scenario. I'm sure they'll have really some strong
And-
guidelines.
And
I think part of one of the biggest things is going to be limiting the number of dogs
Right.
per pool.
well, that's
So-
my question. What's the limit? What's Fanny Chapman's limit on, say, the lower pool, the middle pool, the main big pool? How many people? Well, I know because they do a sign up, and they do a sign up based on the pool area you want to theoretically.
Where you want to be.
Where do
Yeah.
you want to be? So they must have an idea of what their limit is for the main pool. And if we go,
Right.
if we kind of work around that, I was thinking that we should have like 2 sessions for large dogs available and 1 for small dogs, because
I'm with you.
we always have a bigger amount of large dogs. So I'm just wondering what the amount is for that pool, and if we had to sign up based on that number.
Well,
And
the
we'll
pro-
find
the
that
pro-
out tomorrow.
The problem,
other
in
thing-
my
Sounds good.
the problem in my mind is not either the big pool or the diving pool on the other end. It's the wading pool. Because there's no way to social distance around that wading pool.
Yeah, I tend to agree. There's, it's a much, much smaller area. So depending upon how many people we get, it's a much more difficult area to work in and keeping people distant. I think it's not so much people being willing to be distant, as everybody's chasing their dogs. The dogs are always running all over the place. They're just gonna have to be more rigid control, and you have to control your dog. And when you're not in the pool, you have to have your mask on. As a real quick math, 4 sessions would look like this, and it can be worked down to 3. Could do, and this is just rough math, say 10:30, 11:30, and then Carolyn talked about a half-hour break for cleaning, 12 to 1, 1:30 to 2:30, 3 to 4. So if there were 4, it could look like that, or some combination thereof.
So I think our meeting tomorrow will determine.
And either way, I
about
think people need to pre-register for this one.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. To where everything is, there is no money changing hands. Everything is done ahead of time, like orientation now. And Karen, thank you, and Margaret and Caitlin and Steph and whoever else worked through all of that, because that's fabulous. And if we can do the same thing for this, that's a big check mark. I do think if we can talk to Jim and do what they do now, is there's an entrance to the lower pool at the lower pool. There's an entrance to the upper pool, which we don't use, at the upper pool. So if we can work out how to spread them out initially, and you sign up to one pool or the other, that is a step in the right direction. I don't know if that can happen, but I think that could help us as volunteers keep people, minimize our contact too. Right, Caroline? I mean,
Yeah, as it is right now, you have to register for pool, pool time, deck space. So you kind of have to like go in, create an account, and then you just pick what hour you want and which pool you want. So I think it would actually be very doable to, like we talked about, is having the instruction, the lower pool open. It's completely fenced off, gated off. So I think it would be easy to just have, either you're at that pool or you're at the middle pool.
right.
And that's where it is. And there's 2 different entrances and exits. We can have a laptop there that just, logs the people in and shows that they're registered. I think it'll be easy to handle that part of it.
Okay. And I think what we will need to do once we decide all of this is get the word out to people. That this is totally different, and that you're not going to be able to walk up and decide at 10 o'clock that morning that you can go. you know, that everything has to be, well, like anything anymore, you have to make your reservation. You have to, you know.
People know that you just don't do
Yeah, they do.
anymore.
So, so then from you guys, we're okay moving forward with Fido Float. Give me a nod or a
Is
something.
the Dog Park Advisory Board supporting this to move forward?
I am.
Yes.
Who's going to be there? Dave, you're gonna be
Warren,
there? Kathy, you're going to be there?
Warren, are you in or out or what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What is the date? What's the date again, Kathy?
The 12th.
Yeah.
12th.
My only
Yeah,
concern, Kathy, is I don't have the
Yeah,
endurance.
I can be
for-
there.
I don't have the endurance from
Yeah,
9 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon.
well, I don't think if you look at what we used to do, it was 12 to 1:45,
Right.
big dogs.
Yeah.
So if we split that, if we add an extra 15 minutes and do 12 to 1, so what do we have to clean?
You have to wipe everything down, right, Caroline? So I understand.
I think the thing is that the pool will be, you know, the pool's
The
closed at that
bathrooms.
point. So they will, all the chairs, nobody's going to be using any chairs, so we don't spray down the chairs. I think it's more just a good break, so there's no overlap of a lot of people.
Okay,
Do they have to clean the bathrooms?
If the bathrooms need to be cleaned, I don't know how used they are during the event. But I think
Used, but-
it's a good, you know, time to just kind of keep it spaced out.
okay. So then we could figure out our sessions. And Deb, we've got it down, and I agree, but we've got it down to a science. So if we came at 11 and left it at 4?
I'm
because
just
we're
a
not-
realist, Kathy. I don't have the endurance I had before. I just
Okay.
don't. I crap out. So I just figured I would put that out there. I'm here. I'm happy to help, but I can't do that
Right.
extended period of time.
Well, I don't think any of us want to be there too early either, but are you good for Friday?
Yeah, I'm good for Friday. I mean, I can, because I know that I know we've got the whole setup, as long as we get enough people helping us to set it up, and I'm pretty sure I can get Steven to help. So I'm sure we can get enough people to help set it up and get that done, and then I can just go home and crap out. So
Okay.
that'll work.
David,
Yes,
are you okay for setting up Friday before?
I'll have to think about it.
Okay. All right. Because that Friday is more important than Saturday morning.
I have a quick question, Karen. When we were talking about, somebody was talking about there's a separate entrance into the little pool.
Not into
No.
Okay,
no, only into the lower pool or the very upper of the racing pool.
okay. Because I was just concerned about that, how we keep the dogs in the little pool if,
I mean,
The only way I can keep the dogs in the little pool is I wrap all that fencing around the holes in the fence. There's too many
right,
dogs up there.
right.
Okay, so right now I have Deb, Donna, Nancy, Warren. I will be there. Flav will be there. Steve will be there, Deb?
I can
For
convince
Friday?
them to come help. Yeah, Friday.
Okay. Deb, Donna, can you be there Friday to help?
Yes, I can.
Warren?
Yeah.
Warren.
He's frozen.
No. I can't. All right. So I think we have, and then everybody bring whoever is available to help as well.
Yeah.
Is that Warren?
Warren's frozen.
So
know.
May,
So are we good with volunteers for Saturday? If we have 5 people, 6, Karen, will you be there?
no, my internet on this laptop doesn't work too good.
What, Warren, you're cutting in and out.
He's on SpaceX.
We can hear JoJo, but we can't hear you. Do you want to, Warren, can you nod your head if you hear us?
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my connection. I'm
Thumbs
good.
up.
It's got thumbs up.
Okay.
Thumbs up.
That is
All right.
weird.
So then here's what, so we're going to move forward.
I'm going to try to put computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Couple other questions. So do we want to reach out to DAMC to be there? I don't think we've been through enough. I feel funny asking them for shirts and whatnot.
Well, I think in the past, I think having a vet on hand is really a good idea
Yeah.
because, I mean, remember last year when the dog cut its foot and was bleeding over everything?
Yep.
So-
I think I'm okay to ask them if they want to be there. I'm sure they probably do, but I'm hesitant to ask them to spend extra money.
Sure. Yeah,
I'm fine with
Karen-
wearing last year's t-shirt. No big deal.
Yeah.
It was a better
you
year.
know, I've had people ask to buy last year's t-shirt.
The 1 year we didn't sell them.
Yeah, isn't that funny? So, all right, and Karen, if you'll reach out to them,
Yep.
I have a feeling they may reach out, come back and say, well, what about t-shirts? But
If they do, we'll cross that road. I just
Right.
know it's so hard for everybody right now.
I'm with you 100% on that. So the important thing tonight is that, yes, we're on board with moving forward. We will report back tomorrow after the meeting with the logistics to see if everybody is still on board with Caroline, what Jim suggests and what we figure out.
Yep.
And then, go ahead.
If there's something about toys.
Yeah, I think regarding the t-shirts, I think we want to just try to be as contactless as possible.
I do too.
So we don't have t-shirts one year. So what? Yeah.
Well, and last year we didn't have them anyway. I mean, last year it was just for the volunteers.
Yeah.
So,
I would suggest we don't bring the toys either.
Oh, you're going to have dogs that only want to run, like after a ball or something. I mean,
So we just have to make a decision, bring them. I mean, I've got them, so it really doesn't much matter, but bring them, but then we have to pick them up and do all that good stuff too. So just think it, we don't have to decide now, but think it out. But
okay.
then we can't say bring your own because that's when they get aggressive.
oh God, yeah.
Oh, right.
Toy aggression.
We can do those
Think it out. Thank you.
final decisions.
All you gotta do is pick them up and bring them if you want them, but they're ready to
Okay.
go.
There, and Karen, it's not over, it's okay to pre-register.
Yes. Oh, yeah. What we'll do is I'll set up just like we would a program that has more than one session. You sign up for your session, which is the time. And then I just have to figure out the waiver part of it.
Okay,
But we'll figure it out.
good.
Even if everybody's signing up for 2 weeks, whether they're signing up for Jump Rope Camp or Fight Afloat, sign the Fight Afloat waiver. I'll have to figure out how to do it, but we'll figure it out.
Okay, all right. So anybody have questions on Fight Afloat? Concerns?
Nancy hasn't seen it yet. Nancy, you have any questions?
I've never been there either.
It's like organized fun
God,
chaos.
you're gonna love it. Both of you all are gonna love it.
Okay.
I'm working on a photographer, Karen, for you for the
Oh,
park
good.
and rec.
Good. Is anybody, well, now the other thing we have to talk about, thank you, Nancy. That'll be exciting because we can use that in, I found that out today, looking for a picture of Fight Afloat, actually.
Oh, I have 1 million of them.
I needed to find, this we talked about briefly, I had to find the one that would fit. So now I know what we're looking for when we take pictures. I have 1 million of them too. They just were like the wrong direction, too far away. It was just a mess. I thought we had great pictures and we do. The other part is the dog wrangling. Is anybody willing to, not willing to, or have concerns about dog wrangling? Or do we need to invest in some different, better gates for the front?
Well, I don't have an opinion because I don't know what's going on with that. Having never been
Deb
there,
is a dog wrangler, so she can fill you in.
it sounds scary.
Dog wrangling is basically sticking yourself between the running golden retriever and the steps they're heading for so they don't get there in time.
I see.
That's basically dog wrangling.
Yeah.
And
Come from getting out the door.
yeah, don't let them loose.
So here's a thought on that, is since people are signing up for a session, we leave the gate, whatever, open 10 minutes into that session, and then we rope that off.
Okay.
So that, boom, you know, we don't have people coming at, I mean, they get their hour, they're in there, they're locked in, and then when it's time to go, we take the fencing down and then we eliminate.
Good idea, Kathy.
Yeah.
That'll
The
work.
old school lock-in.
Yeah, it's
You
a
know, I
lock-in.
mean-
Like an elevator for dogs.
What's that?
What's that?
In an
The lock-in
elevator,
for dogs.
locked in, that's it.
Yeah.
You're there for the ride.
Yeah. Hand sanitizer. We're gonna have to have someone, I'd have to see, I don't know who's got any. I don't even know if we have any.
We have there's a lot of hand sanitizer stations already down there.
Oh, are there? Oh,
Yeah.
and you're okay with that? Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, that's something we should probably discuss tomorrow, but we've got so
Yeah,
many
that's,
stations down there.
That's a hot commodity.
We'll just have to keep them, yeah, like, don't pack them away
I
yet.
can bring my 1 ounce
Good point, yeah.
bottle of Purell.
Now, I mean, I think it's, sanitize in, sanitize out, and there's tons in the middle.
Okay, awesome.
All right, so Kathy and I had this conversation, but for group questions, somebody shows up refusing to wear a mask.
They don't come in.
I mean, the pool rule is you have to wear a mask in and out. Once
There we
you
go.
are in the pool or in your area, you're not required to, but entering and exiting the pool, you are required to wear a mask.
Okay, I agree. I just wanted to clarify, make sure we're all on the same page so that I want to feel everybody as comfortable as they can as we go forward with this.
So what I will do is tomorrow, once we meet with Jim and we kind of have a better idea, I'll send an email out to everybody and say, here's what we worked on. And then everybody will need to, and we'll include Kristen and Caitlin and Denise, even though Denise and Andrew, and get a response.
Kristen's trying to get in. Who's
Yeah, I
controlling
just saw
her?
that it just came up.
Yeah, she just emailed me. She's been in the waiting room. There she is. Sorry.
She'll be there in time.
Yeah.
Hi, Kristen.
Hi, guys. Sorry
Hi.
about that. Hello, hello.
You made it.
I
Are
did.
you down at the shore?
I am. We're just
Oh.
getting ready to leave because of the crazy storm that's going to be coming up. So
Good luck getting home. Now, have you been able to listen to any of what's?
no, unfortunately, I haven't been. I was in the waiting room for a little while there, and it doesn't allow you to have any audio, unfortunately.
Oh, I don't even know how to do. So we're real fast. We're talking Fido Float Saturday the 12th.
Okay.
Do you know if you would be able to be there? Are you comfortable being there?
Yeah, I can be there. That's no problem.
All right,
for sure.
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, what about Friday before?
I would just have to look at my husband's schedule because that's really the big factor
Okay.
in making sure that, and if the kids are in school and not in school or all of those things. But I will double check, and if I can be, I will absolutely let you know for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So that's what we've been talking about, is moving forward, and it looks, and we have a meeting tomorrow with the pool manager. I'll send an email out after that, giving everybody an update on what we're doing. And then our next thing would be the Friday before. Are you guys okay with that? Everybody?
Yes, I am.
I am.
Okay. All right. We have done this so many times that we've got it down to a science. So is there anything else we need to discuss with Fido Float?
Stop. Well, it's like they're making a mess. Stop it.
Anything?
Mhm.
All right. So the video, guys, what I'm working on is a updated PowerPoint with narration.
Sounds wonderful.
Okay.
I mean, it's kind of make do with what we have, you know?
Sorry.
So I will send that out once I get it put together. I'm following the narrative that we worked up a year ago, and then that way, I think any of us could hit the go button at the orientation, and the people watch it and listen to it, and then we are there to answer questions. Is that next? It's a go-between between the video and our out-of-date PowerPoint that we use now. That's an update on that. I also have, I could share, this is a flyer to put out at the dog park. Warren, the 2 trees that we work so hard killing all the eggs are the 2 trees in the dog park that have lanternfly. Go figure. So they're out there. So we want people to know that we do have a plan. Okay. So I will post this out there tomorrow. What orientation we've got? Today's orientation covered, but we need to cover September's, and I don't know what it is.
Okay, we're following up with Susie right now. She's hoping to have that pinned down next week. Like everybody else, she's trying to get her head wrapped around what's going on with schools. So she's trying to work around all that and put her schedule together. So as soon as I have it, I'll get it up on the agenda and out to all of you.
Okay, all right, good, so that we can fill in. Okay, so survey, we decided the last time we had a meeting that we're putting that off. Well, you know what? We said we would wait until we reopened, and now we're reopened. Do we want to get Caitlin moving on the survey? What do you all think?
I think you should send a survey because people are unsure. Maybe are there any additional questions you'd want to ask because of COVID, Karen? Like that maybe we could be mindful in the future?
Let me ponder that, maybe.
I mean, I know the survey's been up and ready. I'd love to see it out so we get some feedback. You know, or maybe it's under other with
I don't
COVID.
have too many, I don't really have as many questions regarding COVID with the dog park, since it's an outdoor space. It's more the indoor and tight spaces that are a little bit more challenging right now. But,
So what are
what's
the
your
rest
dog's
of you
name?
guys? Oh, go ahead, Karen, I'm sorry.
It was not a dumb question, but I was just asking Nancy what her dog's name was because he walked by again.
Oh, that's Lucy. There she is.
Lucy, she walked by.
On her bed.
That's like 100 of Caden.
Yeah. She's 120 pounds. Yeah.
Caden's only 8.
120 pounds of love, right? Just
Right.
laid back.
She's like a toddler in the house. Yeah. Pretty much.
Cute. So what do you
If
all
anybody's at the dog park can get and is with a group or like the little group or they're with a big group or a group of people, get some pictures with multiple dogs, or somebody close up being happy, that would be helpful. Just take some
Can
pictures
you
and
find
send
out what you need in terms of those pictures, which way they're turned,
horizontal.
or because I know there's sort of rules and regulations.
Yeah, landscape.
And like send your top 3 so you don't end up with a mazillion.
Yeah.
Whatever that is you want. I did reach out to a student to find out they'd be interested in taking some pictures, not only of the dog park, but for Park and Rec in general, and maybe even help you with your videos. He has a drone as well. So it could be really cool, especially if thinking of bike and hike, if I could jump on that. So I'm waiting to hear back from him. I actually spoke to his mom, but his mom's also very creative. He went a training at WHYY last summer, and he's going to be going to school next year specifically for photojournalism. So
nice.
Fingers crossed.
What school?
I don't know. So, well, just between us, because I want you. So Fabi Do, the adorable redhead that has her art studio with the pink Volkswagen bus.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
Street. It's her son. So he is also very artistic like she is. She had been posting things about him. So I had just reached out to her the other day. So she said he's taking a class online, but that's what his plan is. And so, like I said, I'm hopeful that he can not only elevate, the dog park with some pictures for you or Fido floated events,
Right.
but also, and I said, we're totally flexible. For him, a student, the idea of being able to put that to help build their
On a resume.
on a
Right.
resume and also their art, their portfolio. That
Right.
could be huge. I know, like I said, Bike and Hike needs people, Karen, so we talked about the website. So fingers crossed, and hopefully we can get more than one.
Okay.
But we'll see. Right now, I'm starting small. So, but yeah, any details on that, Karen? Hopefully, I'll be able to
Okay.
your way. I'll know in the next day or two.
Okay. That's a good lead in, Kath.
Oh, what?
That's a good lead on my update.
Oh, on the website? Go ahead.
Yep. The Park and Rec Department now has a website, Doylestown Rec. The green website, as you know, it is still there. But that will function more as a management piece. It is a Park and Rec management software component that takes registrations, facility reservations, membership, things like that. But it's not terribly attractive. So with the new township website, we've built a new Park and Rec website. And if you go to doylestownpa.org and just click on the Park and Rec Department, it will take you to it. It is a work in progress. We are live now. I still have some work. The dog park has its own single page right now. And I'm doing some work on that across the website. So I know there's still some things to be cleaned up and monitored along the way. So I appreciate any positive comments and positive suggestions, and I will get right to it. We have certain parameters that we're within, but we're getting there. And over time, we'll be able to evolve it and do some neat things. Right now, I'm focusing on trying to rework it to the new orientation process so it's nice and clean. And then you'll see some accordion files, and it'll be the rules, getting started on how to create a household account, orientation and first time registration. One of these tabs is still wrong. Annual renewal, refunds, dog park advisory board, and then I have one for canine classes, which doesn't go into what the specific classes are, but it talks about, Susie, and I'll give you a link to the classes should you be interested in taking any programs. There's a link, another button for creating an account, the manual, and for orientation registration, which will take you to what you're familiar with looking at, but it'll take you right to that registration page. And there's a really cool picture of Rudy up at the top. So we are getting there, and bear with us. When you look at the website, if you look at programs, you'll see 8 different boxes that are for each of the categories, and parks will in the near future look similar to that, where we'll have 8 different boxes, so you don't have to scroll up and down, and it'll just take you, and then you'll see dog park right up there with all the other ones. So that's where we're at. Take a look, let me know what you think. It's going to take some time to become something even more special. I'm pretty excited about it, and I hope you are too.
Great job, Karen, and everyone. I know I'm new to the board, but I'm really grateful for all the work and time, because it's a lot of work to put a website up and moving and go through all those details with a fine-tooth comb. So I'm grateful and appreciative, especially since I think Park and Rec in general is probably under more of a microscope than ever as we all look for things to do with COVID.
Yeah,
So thank you.
I mean, it's Park and
Thank
Rec
you.
for the
Good
first
job.
time has become the only place people have had to go.
Right.
So it really has become a special. When you're on the home page of the website, down at the bottom, you'll see 3 sets of 4 pictures that we can change out on a regular basis, and they can be anything again. So they can be upcoming programs. They can be, we can change them with the season. We can change them with the activity. They can be passive. They can be active. But it's just a representation of who the Park and Recreation Department is as a whole. So take a look around. I know, Donna, you got a special eye on this stuff. So Yeah, you're really good at reading all this, Kathy. Kathy's read a lot of
Oh,
it.
okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna take a look at it. It sounds great.
Appreciate that eye.
I like the visual that's in it, that's added to it, that it's more welcoming, that it's more, you feel like you get a flavor of the park or the park system more so than programs being offered, or so take a look at it, folks. It's well done, very well done.
There's a lot of continuity to it, and the continuity is going to be branching out to other areas. Our new tagline is, I'm waiting for it to come back around because I don't even remember it now. It is play,
explore, and preserve.
Play, explore, and preserve, which covers just about everything. And today we added a Fido float picture up on the top slider, which are Revolution. So you'll see that's
awesome. So what do you all think of putting a mask on Fido?
That's a good idea.
We think it's great if Karen can figure out how to do it.
Or I can get Palmer to do it too. What do you want? I mean,
I think it's a great idea.
I was sitting here looking for an icon right as we were talking, so it's
okay.
If I can dismantle that picture and put it together, I guess I can get a mask to put on them.
Well, so, and you all please take a look at the website because it looks awesome. But the last thing we've got 15 minutes or 14 minutes is, Kristen, you brought to my attention, what, 6 weeks ago? It was before we realized we didn't have a July meeting.
Right.
And Deb knows this, when we were building the dog park, we had a website and we had a Facebook page. The website is gone. The Facebook page has been floating out there.
Sure. And let me, I'd like to give everybody a little backstory of how it kind of came to me. At one point in my, when I started on the board, I had searched on Facebook, the Doylestown Dog Park, and it had come up, and I said, well, of course I'm going to like the page. So, and that was a while back. And it was just most recently, right before the park had reopened and we had started transitioning phases, a member had reached out onto the page and asked, when will the dog park open? And just so happened that was Tuesday after our meeting in which was discussed when it would open. So then I had responded back and said, oh, more news is coming soon. Keep a lookout, there will be an email coming out. So right after that, the gal who originally created the Facebook page reached out to me and said, I no longer live in the area. Can you administer the page? And rather than it just go dormant or whatever, I said, sure. So that's kind of how it kind of got onto inadvertently my plate, more or less because I just didn't want it floating around. So that's a little bit of the backstory of how that kind of all came to be. Go ahead.
That's really generous of you. Karen?
Yeah.
Stephanie, is there a way to connect, our Twitter and Facebook and our Doylestown website?
No, they need to be separate. And actually, it should probably be shut down and everything should run through the township.
Exactly.
Since we manage it, we do not want silos. The Telecommunications Advisory Board has been adamant about this from the beginning. And that's why we have, the township Facebook page and Twitter and everything. And what's going out needs to come, through, Parks and Rec and administration.
Exactly.
That's where it needs to come. That's where it needs to be
back up
communicated
too,
from.
because
So
that
it should be
came
really,
from, originally
the
there
old one should be
was
shut down.
So how do we transition out of this one to the township page? Because I think, and as Kristen said, as far as it floating out there, we don't want it just, and it's been floating for a while. So if we want to transition, what do we do?
Well, I think you need to shut it down. I mean, I'm not quite sure how you would about do that. And it needs to come through the township and Park and Recreation, just like we have our website and everything. And the communications and what's run and how it's taken care of and everything are all administered through the township. So
So then
Okay.
before
At the
we,
top of
to
your
be
picture-
directed to us.
Yeah, I think
And
it's
that's-
at
And
the
it can
top of the
be existing.
picture, Kristen. You can just put
Okay.
that it's going. We're finally closed and moved on to the Doylestown Township website.
I
That's
think
like-
the back,
So, and just to kind of go a little bit, sir, this is actually the reason why I became the administrator on the page, so that as the administrator, all you need to do is to shut down the entire page. You actually have to get rid of all the members first and then shut it down. But it would probably be if anybody wants to work on some kind of referral message, because I don't know if it actually disappears in the world. Do you get what I'm saying? Like in the cyber world,
Yeah.
does it
It'll
actually
probably always be out
disappear? So what I would love to do is kind of have a crafted message that will direct people to the appropriate page, because I'm going to be
Yes.
honest with you, people do use it. Every day I either get a check-in or a like or something like that. So it is being utilized by people in the community itself. So I do feel that we would need some kind of message to
For the
make sure people know where to go.
backstory- For the backstory, so everybody understands, because I don't know if I think a lot of people understand, Kathy, you and I talked about it. When this all came about, the Doylestown Dog Park Friends Group was independent of the township
The
and the
township.
borough, working on behalf of the township and borough to develop a dog park. So through the Friends Group, there was that Facebook and the website. Now that that Friends Group has completed their task and the dog park has been built and is being managed and operated internally, then everything comes internally and we can grow that. And I think there are things that, when you look at the website, now this isn't necessarily a dog park, but there's a township calendar. And we were able to negotiate when you're on the Park and Rec site, you only see Park and Rec calendar items. Because that's what people want to see, and that's part of the issue with programs or dog park is they just want to see that. They don't want to file through everything else. So we can start at times maybe to look at that for our own website to make sure there's more information and easy to find information for the folks looking for the dog park.
Yeah. Can
So-
Stephanie or Caitlin or Andrea give Kristen the right verbiage to put on her
I'll
website?
work on that tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll work on that.
Just give her something to put on her website,
Mhm.
like, that's it. And then people will get it. They'll just switch over.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, Nancy.
Thank you, Kristen. That's awesome.
Use Kathy's philosophy.
Yeah, no problem. And if I run into any issues with the page, who would be the best person to contact? Would that be you, Karen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Contact Karen and Karen will put you in touch with possibly Andrea
Andrea,
to figure it out.
Okay. And then
No problems.
probably either probably tomorrow
not a
I'll look to
Facebook
take it
guru.
down. That's okay. I'll probably look to take it down tomorrow, and then I will just reach out to the group to confirm that I have taken those steps.
Thank you.
thank you, Kristen. Thank you
No problem.
for hanging in there and for, taking it on, and also, I guess we're moving
You
forward.
and
but-
Amelia are gonna drive home.
It's all
Okay.
good. Yeah, it's all good. No worries.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So anything else, folks?
Not for me.
Anything else? All right, so Donna and David, I will see you in about 20 minutes,
Okay.
Yep.
okay?
No speeding.
25 minutes then? And everybody else, look for an email on an update for Fido Float, and then we'll plan on our Friday. The only other thing is August 24th. We have a scheduled meeting. Do we need that meeting?
It's also the golf outing. I just realized that.
Oh, I knew that, yeah.
Oh, is there golf?
Oh, Caroline,
Yes, there is.
It's the
Caroline.
rescheduled COVID outing.
you're so bad.
I think I'm the only person that signed up.
Me too. No, I'm
Once you
just
get a
kidding.
round
No,
of
we're
applause.
getting there.
Told us always first to sign up.
So do we need the 24th?
I would say that if the Fido float is under control, then we don't need to meet on the 24th.
Well, how are we going to determine how many slots we're going to do and when we're going to, you know, what times we're going to set them up
Sounds like-
for? And
Sounds like Kathy and I are gonna do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think
it
it'll
sounds
be
like we're gonna
more
do
what
that and then
Jim
send it out
says.
okay,
We're gonna follow his lead,
Yeah.
okay? But, I mean, we can still meet, but it's just, you know, let's decide now instead of 3 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Well, we can, it's canceling a meeting isn't hard. It's the adding one that's not scheduled. So if you want to wait until we, you see what we come up with tomorrow and then say, okay, we look good, or.
All right, that's fine with me. Are you guys okay with that?
I'm good with that.
Okay, all right,
Sounds good.
okay, all right. So anything else? Anybody have anything to add?
Not me.
Nope.
Nope? Be careful
back
when
in the
driving
back.
home, Kristen.
Thank you. Bye,
Okay.
guys. We'll touch base
Thank you.
soon.
All right,
Bye.
Does everybody be safe?
Do we have a motion and a second?
who's making it?
I
Deb, or
motion we
you?
adjourn. I motion we adjourn.
Okay. David?
I'll second it.
Good answer.
Second that
All in
motion?
favor, meeting adjourned.
We're adjourned.
Thank you all.